Hey, it's Solon. It's Friday, October 28th, and it is time for the weekly Warcraft news thingamajigger. Our top thing of the week is that 7.1 is out, along with almost all the cool things that come with it. The Trial of Valor raid is expected to come in about 2 weeks or so, a little bit after BlizzCon. But in the meantime, we have other stuff to do, including all the new quests from Suramar. As soon as you finish getting exalted, there's going to be more quests for you to do, but even more to come out when the Trial of Valor raid comes out. There's pets to capture. There's pets to tame for hunters, and Karazhan. Karazhan was a trip. I finally finished it last night. It took, oh god, I think it took like 4, maybe 5 hours. I think it was like around 4 hours, but it was like after our normal raid night. So me and my team, we were already a little bit tired. By the time we were done, we were really tired, but it was a trip. I didn't do any previous PTR testing or anything like that, so we were definitely exploring at the same time as we were like doing all the encounters and what have you. As for the tuning felt a little bit off compared to the kinds of rewards that you get. I think part of it was because we're already, a little bit tired. We were essentially progressing through the entire instance. None of us have seen anything yet, so we were kind of learning everything as we go, looking at the dungeon journal. Okay, this is what we do. Let's wipe a lot of times. Let's run back. And dude, running back, oh my god. Most of the time it was just a big, huge pain in the butt. Overall, though, the Karazhan raid was pretty damn awesome. I really liked it. I really like the fact that you start kind of going in a really different path from what you usually did back in Burning Crusade. This isn't so much as a spoiler, but normally in BC, of course, you either start at the bottom and you make your way to the top, or you start on the side door and then you make your way to the top. This time you kind of go through a side door, you go all the way to the bottom, and then you sort of go up to the top, but it's upside down, and that, no spoilers, that's as far as it goes. My advice, go ahead and check it out. Try to check it out, get into a group, do whatever it takes for as long as it takes. Just experience it once and you won't regret it. On top of that, and I guess it just didn't take a whole lot of time for folks to figure out, people were able to figure out how to unlock the Nightbane encounter. And for those who don't know, Nightbane was a sort of hidden encounter in Karazhan back in the days of old. I don't even remember everything that you had to do, but it was kind of a pain in the butt. Then you go out to this ledge, you click on an urn, Nightbane comes out, you kill this thing. It's a dragon, by the way. You kill this guy, and end of story. This time around, though, you kind of do a speed run in order to unlock the Nightbane encounter. You pretty much run in, gun through a couple of bosses, click on these crystal things before the time expires, then you run over, talk to an NPC, and ta-da, Nightbane. Folks have compared it to the old Zul'Aman bear run, where you had to kind of go through that old instance in a certain amount of time in order to unlock a mount. I kind of disagree with that, though, because instead of just a mount, you get a boss, and the boss happens to drop a mount and loot, 875 loot, so it's good stuff. So I guess between that and the horse mount down over at the stables down in Karazhan, I guess that would be the reason to repeat the instance over and over again. At least up to that point. You don't have to complete all of Karazhan in like half an hour in order to unlock the Nightbane fight. But you do have to get pretty far, so I'm pretty sure that even myself and my team, we're going to go ahead and go back in and try to practice, get some more gear, go in and try to get ourselves some mounts. But anyway, yeah, Karazhan, a lot of fun. Check it out. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles Con is coming in 1 week, and across the street is Blizzard, and they're going to be announcing a couple things, and there's, a couple of folks are going to show up. It turns out that closing the show is going to be Weird Al Yankovic of Fat and Eat It and the recent album, Mandatory Fun, I think is what it's called. I should know this because I did actually buy it. And I have mixed thoughts on it. I don't know if I should cringe or if I should be like super excited about it. Because I heard that he does really good shows, like 110% effort. I heard something about I think his mom died, but regardless, he still put on a really solid show, even though he had the weight of his mom's death on his heart. At the same time, though, it's Weird Al, and that's kind of a departure from, folks like Metallica and Linkin Park, and well, I guess you can't really compare those two either, but they have a BlizzCon closing things have a typical rock kind of feel to it, and this is different. I guess since Weird Al is more like a comedy guy, I would compare him a little bit more to like the Tenacious D show that happened however many years ago. For people that aren't as familiar with going to BlizzCon, the environment there, it's usually full of like older folks. So I don't know, maybe the older crowd resonates a little bit better with Weird Al. I don't know. So tell me what you guys think. Tell me who would you have preferred to show up at BlizzCon, because, well, shoot, thanks to the virtual ticket, a whole lot of folks are going to be seeing this. So I'm thinking that the audience should be taken into more consideration, not just the ones that are going to be showing up directly in person at the convention, but the people that are watching at home. I'm pretty sure that that's a lot of people, and I am very curious about who you guys would prefer to watch or listen to. Obviously, I've expressed my excitement for BlizzCon for many weeks or months or, forever now, so I'm excited to share at least a little piece of the experience with you guys. I'm probably going to try to do sort of a vlog or road to BlizzCon, journey to BlizzCon, so I'm going to be recording myself and some of my folks when we're driving down, and I'm going to try to set up a stream of, just us chilling in the room. We'll answer questions, we'll talk, we'll just hang out, we'll probably drink in front of you guys and make total fools of ourselves, but it should be fun, and at worst I'll have a lot of blackmail material on me. I'm hoping to finish this before I go down there next week, but if not, I'm going to be reading this guy, the Traveler book. It finally came out, I think, on Tuesday, or at least I got it on Tuesday. I only read through like the very first chapter of it, and so far it's like, all right, cool, nice little intro. I got to meet like I think 2 of the characters, a little bit of backstory. It's a novel meant for young adults. It's actually a lot thicker than I thought it was going to be. I don't expect for it to be a very challenging read, but I do expect it to be a little fun. So, well, maybe I'll talk about it super briefly in a future video. Players who've been waiting and praying and crying over legacy servers are going to have to wait and cry a little bit longer. Earlier this week, J. Allen Brack from Blizzard announced that there was not going to be any official statement regarding legacy or classic servers or whatever they're going to be called at BlizzCon. Players interested in the subject are naturally pretty damn pissed off about it, and the Nostalgia team seems pretty dead set on doing something about it. They're saying that they're going to make some sort of statement after the convention. Which brings me to my hopefully short main thing of the day. What did you expect? It shouldn't come to anybody's surprise that Blizzard is, in fact, as J. Allen Brackett said, that they're laser focused on producing Legion content at this time. For all of the inflatedness regarding complaints over like RNG and legendaries and whatever other complaints that are going about, one thing that isn't going about is that there is nothing to do. The recently launched 7.1 patch is testament to how much dedication and effort that Blizzard is putting into creating a steady flow of content that makes sense, that is repeatable, that is for the most part fun. I'm pretty sure that the unverified statement from Tom Chilton about the 10 point something million subscribers, active subscribers in WoW, I'm pretty sure that's false, but I'm pretty sure that Blizzard's efforts have been paying off. So I don't think Blizzard wants to confuse itself right now with trying to work out the logistics of running a legacy or a classic server alongside continuing to develop for Legion and whatever the heck other expansion is coming afterwards. Every now and then I glance at the MMO Champ forums and I can't even really see a consensus as to like what kind of legacy server that players prefer. And I'm pretty sure I said this in a comment in another video, but I'll just say it out loud here. Like, do you want a progressive classic kind of server? Do you prefer a BC one, a Lich King one? Probably not a Cataclysm one and beyond, because most folks don't really seem to like that. But where should you start? Should you start at the very earliest patch with all its bugs and then progress from there? Or what should the time frame be between each of the major patches? Or should the realms be frozen? Should classic stay classic? Should BC and Lich King, should they never change from the core components of what they are? Or should you have a realm that suits what everyone wants? Anyway, I can make at least kind of a statement based on my experience with game development, because from a project management standpoint, things like the rest of Legion, along with like the patch cycles and the raids and pretty much all the planning, all that stuff is already set. Based on the timing, like when the Nostalgia team met up with Blizzard, and I think that was back in July, June, somewhere around that time. Even if after those doors were shut and Mike Morhaime was like, hey guys, we're gonna go ahead and do legacy servers, do it. You can't just take that block of work, which is, defined as legacy. Here's the amount of work that you got to do to get legacy servers done. You can't just do that and then just plop it onto the project management schedule. That would like screw everything up. It would probably affect like hundreds of people. It would cause work to be shuffled around in ways that we can't really predict. It would screw things up, and at the very least, you would lose out on whatever work that Blizzard would do instead. But because you're also affecting and the kind of work that's coming in from other people, it's going to affect the entire project in ways that they can't really predict. So unless Blizzard was interested in investing into creating an entire team just dedicated to setting up a legacy server, it could be years until we see something. And if we see anything sooner without a lot of obvious hiring that was done, then something from Legion or something on the project schedule was sacrificed. And I'm sure that people that are very against legacy servers are going to feel vindicated in their thoughts that yes, in fact, Legacy took away from work that was being done for the game. So decision makers at Blizzard had a pretty easy choice to make. One is to support the current game, where their decisions affect the subscriber numbers in the millions, and it's been proven. We can see that historically. Or they would go for legacy servers, and regardless of what is sacrificed on the live side, if anything, the net gain would be at what, I guess, the hundreds of thousands? And these numbers are largely unproven. You're using a pool of players that didn't really pay for the like Instarius and other private servers. It would probably carry a lot more weight than the paper that it was carried in on. So that's the news for the week, and apart from your preference on what you would want to have for a closing ceremony, I'm kind of curious as to what kind of legacy server that you guys would be interested, if any. And I'm sure that this will bring up a whole lot of controversy and a lot of dislikes, but oh well. But I'm curious what you guys, how do you guys feel about investing into such a smaller pool of players, regarding legacy servers, versus investing into the main game, which affects millions of players? I'd love to hear you guys share your thoughts on that. So with that said, I'm out for the weekend. You guys stay safe and have a happy early Halloween if you're going to be doing that with your kids. And I'll see you around. I'm Soul. Stay breezy, guys.